our life. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, people. Yes, indeed, it is. Some might even say a Sunday, a rare Sunday show for Bear. Some might even say a super Sunday out there. I have no idea what that means. Something about, I don't know, Taylor Swift and her, male dancers that she has. Apparently, they're putting on a show of some kind. I don't know. Have no idea. Bear is a hockey fan, so couldn't tell you. A bunch of freaking cheaters in the NFL. Anyhow, good to have everybody with us here. Hopefully, we are on, not our first, not our second, but our third. Our third try at this. Our third try at bat. You get 3 strikes and you're out. Much like Bear's alternative channel that has been warned that, oh gosh darn Bear, I should right away say, please, if you are out there, please do not take medical advice from a talking bear on the internet. That might be a bad thing. Go check out on your own what Bear's talking about, but good old YouTube decides to strike Bear on his channel, so he's only got 2 more left on the other channel. So, gosh, I gotta figure stuff out. We might just move this whole shebang over to Rumble and say, screw off, YouTube. You and your stinking medical, what was it? Medical something or other. Yeah, I mean, it's like right up there with like doxing and pornography. Bear doesn't even curse on the channel, for crying out loud. Bear could curse right now at freaking YouTube, but that's all right. All right, let me just double check. Hey, we are working. Hello, says Sam. 1 polar bear versus 1,000. Is that 1,000? 10,000. 10,000 koalas. Probably the 10,000 koalas. Kind of like the old, ant bites. 1 ant bite can't kill you, but 10,000 probably could. So, yeah, there you go. I'd probably say a bear would put his money on 10,000 koalas versus a polar bear. There you go. There you are, people. Well, we are going to try. Let me just double check once more. Hello. Hi, how are you? Uh-oh, god dang it. Stupid Tim Apple. Nope, don't play music. For crying out loud. Bears already get struck once. Okay, get out of that. There we go. All right, let's try. Let's try it, people. See if we can do it here. The 1 camera works. The 2 camera works. Oh, joy, people. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and finish. Well, try and start, really. Start over. Our Salamandroid review here. We tried to do that yesterday. Not once, but twice, people. Twice, and bad audio for some reason. So Bear went ahead, privated those videos. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much other than Bear going, how do I do this? I don't know. That sort of deal. So we're going to go ahead, jump right on into it. I know you people don't have any time to waste at all. Not most importantly, Sam out there. He definitely doesn't have any time to spare. And let's see, P-Money is at work. He will try and pop in if he can. So he must be. We know what you're doing, P-Money. You're watching that bowl of supers out there. We get you. I understand. Given freaking well, what is Bear trying to say here? Being a traitor to his Canadian roots, watching the football game out there. That's all right. That's all right, people. Interesting fact: koalas are not bears. Really? They're marsupials, I do believe. Some sort of marsupial out there. I don't know. It's all backwards, really. I mean, their toilets flow backwards. They have, right now it's summer down there rather than winter. It's really weird down there in Australia. So Bear has no idea. None, really. None whatsoever, people. So, all right, let's go ahead. Jump right on into it for you. Let me just freaking double check one more time. Test. Okay, it works. It works, people. It works out here. So let's go ahead. Oh, we got a book. Oh, let me turn the microphone. Let me do this number. Okay, let's see if, pardon me, people. I'm trying a new setup here. Okay, that works. That works. Okay, so it doesn't, I was worried it was going to echo here. All right, test. Ah, that works. Ah, thank goodness. Oh, man, people, you have no idea. Bear literally almost pulled all of his hair out. Trying to get this thing to work. I still have no idea what was going on. Anyhow, people, we've got for you good people out here, Salamandroid. That would be the Death Sting. Bear got this off of the Second Chance campaign of the CyberFrog campaign. Not exactly sure if this came with the original second book campaign. I don't know if it's a exclusive to the Second Chance campaign or not. But they did actually have a Salamandroid color Zine. In fact, I think it was Sam. Sam the other day was asking what the difference was between the ash can, and you can see the size difference there. So there's a little bit of a size difference with an ash can. Bear has not read the color Zine here, so I don't know if there's any information in here that might be relevant for the Salamandroid book. But I just wanted to make mention of that just in case, Bear gets a little confused. I thought it was a good book. There was a couple spots where he was confused, and maybe it might be in the other book here. So, all right, we're doing good, people. Let's get into it. Let's get into it for you good people. So we got Salamandroid. That would be the Death Sting. Cover by Kelsey, Shannon. Poor Kelsey. Already kicked out of Comicsgate. So I don't know if this is worth more money because Kelsey's gone or not. I have no idea. One of the first things that Bear noticed was it's a good cover. Don't get me wrong here, but I thought it was a little bit busy with the stuff going on here. So for example, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's actually a signature right here. I got it signed by Uncle Lee, but you really can't. Let me see if we can bring that up to the camera here. I don't know if we could see that there or not, but here we are. Let's see. You can barely see it. It's in silver there. So that might be another one, but it does say Ethan, and I don't know if he has a smiley face there or not, but like a U, maybe a V, Van Sciver. So I thought it was just a little bit busy, but I do like the colors. And one of the interesting things that we found out last night was this is actually a black and white. Obviously, it's not a black and white. It's in color. It is a glow in the dark cover. So if you have these maybe on your shelf somewhere, you turn off the light, nice little glow to it. So that's kind of starting off. One of the things that Bear noticed with the book here, really high quality. Really, there's the thumb of quality there. Really high quality. Even though it is, of course, it's stapled on there. It's not like a perfect bound or anything like that, but not a very thick book either. Not a very thick book at all there. So that's fine. It's fine, but man, I mean, even though it's only got a certain amount of short number of pages there, they really packed in the quality on this book. Probably just kind of as a side book, looks a whole lot better than 80 to 90% of the books in Comicsgate out there. They really spent some big money trying to put some great stuff into this book here. So we'll go ahead and get right on into it. Anybody got any questions? Nobody has any questions just yet. So we'll go ahead and get into it if Bear can here. Apologies if we are going to be spoiling anything. Bear is not intending to spoil anything. I'm not going to read along with it. I'm just going to kind of point out some stuff and interesting stuff. Stuff that Bear had confused about. I think it goes without saying. Great quality, great artwork. Really interesting, and also great coloring in here as well. Very great coloring from the critter, Kyle Ritter out there. Art and story by Ethan Van Sciver. It's on the next page. It's on the next page here, but we'll get to this first. Basically, because one of the things that Bear was thinking about was these are the aliens that are, I guess you could say, the good aliens out there. So they're the ones that sent the Kelsey out and found CyberFrog, found Salamandroid, made them into, obviously, CyberFrog and Salamandroid. So that's what they're doing here. It looks like, I don't know, some sort of, I don't know if he's trying to make a commentary on abortion or something like that, but they're taking the sort of life essence out of one of these aliens here and putting it into a sort of cybernetic pod, I suppose. So you got these other two aliens, they're talking back and forth. And one of the interesting things was the aliens here actually defeated the Vismas. Those are the bees that are in the main book over there, in the CyberFrog book. So very interesting. I don't know if this is their first, the first time seeing these characters or not, but it was new to Bear. It was new to Bear. So I thought it was kind of interesting that they're showing sort of the flip side to that, where some of the aliens and all that stuff going on. And of course, they're doing all their transfer and sterilization complete and all that sort of stuff. Very interesting. Very interesting. It took Bear twice to read through this just to make sure that he understood what was going on. I actually thought that these characters here were these, but you can tell the difference with their sort of head, foreheads, I suppose, kind of forehead markings there. Anyways, once again, great coloring there. But it's showing us the background to what happened before, I guess, the first chapter of CyberFrog #1 out there. Well, CyberFrog Blood Honey, rather. It gets Bear a little bit confused. We'll talk about that in just a minute here, but there were issues back in the 90s. So CyberFrog Blood Honey, even though he calls it #1, wasn't actually the #1 book. But CyberFrog Blood Honey, it brings up some stuff. Goes all the way back to 1994? 1994, to kind of fill us in on what's going on before the events of the CyberFrog Blood Honey. So we have all this stuff going on. 1994. I thought this was really cool, kind of a really interesting, dynamic way of storytelling here, but also it had, you got your colors by the Critter out there, letters by Eric Letters Too Much, Eric Weathers out there. He literally letters everything, and also had, I guess, some of the legal stuff in here as well, all with the same page here. Very cool. I like that. I thought this is a very dynamic page here. The only thing that I had a question about was, I guess this is the ship that's leaving. It looks like it's like cutting through the planet. I thought he did a really good job of showing scale here. Pretty cool. I guess this is the alien planet here. And then the pod is escaping. Gonna go to Earth here. 1994, heads to Earth, crash lands. And we end up crash landing and coming across a group of humans here. What was his name? Malcolm Blue. Well, he's blue. Look at there. Very fitting. Very fit. And he's wearing blue. He's wearing a blue shirt and blue pants. I guess that's his favorite color. Anyways, takes a hold. The alien pod comes down that we just saw. Finds this guy. Merges with him. One of the interesting things that I thought was part of this was he after he like merges with the what was the name of it? I'm trying to find the name. I don't recall. I don't recall the name of this. Kind of I appreciate what Uncle E does with trying to make sort of English names, but make them into aliens. So Kelsey is sort of the mother of CyberFrog. So it has a number of those sort of, I guess maybe Superman-esque type of names in there. Anyways, the main character here, or the character here, Malcolm Blue, in the main CyberFrog book, you kind of have a sort of the CyberFrog attitude, a sort of New Jersey attitude, I suppose. How a frog gets a New Jersey attitude, I don't know, but we'll go with it, people. We'll go with it. It was kind of interesting where he had his own personality and then basically was taken over by the cybernetic being here, and then just became sort of a automatron, where you didn't have that with CyberFrog. So I don't know if there's a difference between, humans and frogs as far as their, intelligence or maybe personalities out there. But yeah, there you go. So you see him merge there. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. I like the transition of colors here, where we go from the sort of reddish down to the bluish here. Mr. Blue, Mr. Malcolm Blue there. So very cool, very cool. Kind of continuing with that, where we go with purple here. So every one of these has kind of a pairing, what they call twins, even though they're not really twins, but that's all right. So we have another alien cybernetic going after a scorpion here. The scorpion comes down, makes the scorpion kaboom, makes him real big over here in this other panel here. I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if this is a sort of analogy with the scorpion and the frog. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It didn't really say why it chose a scorpion. You would figure it would have chosen, another one of these humans here, but whatever. We'll go with it. We'll go with it here. It's his story. So they have all that. Now the scorpion can talk English with this guy here. Gah, he says. Gah. Oh my god. It's a giant scorpion. Or he's called Scorpion. So this would be one of the, I guess, original villains for the 90s CyberFrog here. I believe he was in CyberFrog 2. It's been a minute for Bear here. Been a couple months. I remember there was another character there, but I thought it was interesting that they had him in the cards that you got for. In fact, it's almost kind of like for like there. He had him in the cards that you got with CyberFrog number 2. So it came with the book over there. I was kind of confused about that at the time, and now here comes this book. So once again, Bear might get a little bit confused on some of this stuff, only because it's been a minute since I've read CyberFrog, and I never read this guy either. So there might be some information in there for you good people. So anyways, he's there. Oh my god, God. So they have that. Again, not trying to spoil anything, people, but we're going to be going through this here. So just so you know, poor guy gets his head chomped off. It looks pretty bad there. Pretty bad. And he says, "What have you done? What have you done, Scorpion?" So he goes and this is the last best hope for humanity. He ends up dying. Spoiler alert, people. And what was her name? Let's see. Are you my mother? Yes. I own you, he says. Thwomp. Oh no. Pryden. Prydan. My duty to report, the mission is a failure. So she's talking to the aliens that sent her there. It's like, oh my god, we spent a whole lot of time and effort. It seems like it killed one of these aliens to make the cybernetic being here. So they're like, oh crap, okay, we gotta start all over again. I thought it was very interesting, very very cool twist there in the story. 2 complaints. I got 2 complaints here. Bear does. Number 1. Really thought that this stuff should have been in CyberFrog number 2 over here. Thought that might have starting off. So you had the CyberFrog number 1, Blood Honey, started off with Kelsey kind of talking about how she came, how she found CyberFrog, how he became CyberFrog, the Vespa threat, all that sort of stuff. And then she ends up dying. Spoiler alert. Dying at the very end of the first chapter there. Or at least getting captured, I believe. I forget if it was captured or killed. Either way, it was kind of a short story in amongst the bigger story, but a full circle story. Kind of completed the arc there. I thought this would have been kind of a good addition to the second book, which kind of did the same things. Brought us back into the past, how that all that worked, and then as you see here, we're going to come into the future here. What was that? 1996 there. So that's the next page. I really felt like that there should have been a kind of in-between page there, kind of, paused for just a second and then came back with a lot of the action there. The other thing that's, I don't want to say wrong with it, you can tell it's not a very big book, and you've spent, what was that? Let me see, 4, 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. 7 pages, probably about a third, maybe about a third of the book here, on this story here, which is nice. I mean, it ends up, womp, womp, womp. Oh, well, the guy died. I guess we gotta go with the frog instead of a human. That's kind of funny and everything, but you took up a third of the book to tell us this story. Whereas, what was it, 6 or 7 pages here would have went a lot better and a lot easier into CyberFrog number 2. So that's the only downside that Bear would kind of say to that sort of stuff. But otherwise, I thought it was really good. I thought it was an interesting, almost a rug pull almost. You're like, right on, all right, Mr. Blue or whatever his name was, Malcolm Blue, right on. Now you're going to be the savior, and all of a sudden he gets his head chopped off. Oh my God. So very cool, very interesting. They also have the aliens here, kind of a George Bush War on Terror kind of theme going. Essentially, they won their war against the Vispas. Here's the Vispas here, all the bees. They won their war against them. So the Vispas, in the first book, it was like they were an overwhelming force. In actuality, it was actually a defeated force, and they're going to Earth because, essentially, people are weak. Not necessarily physically, but like in the mind, mentally, not strong, emotionally or intellectually, or that sort of stuff. So they come to Earth. Here's the invasion here, 1998. And there is Salamandroid. So we're 7 pages into Salamandroid's main book, and finally he shows up. Here. So you see them kind of as a different angle than what happened in the CyberFrog Blood Honey. Pardon me, people. Grab a drink for just a second. Grab a drink and see if anybody has any questions. Nobody has any questions, but everybody is going for Da Bears. So thank you. Going for Da Bears. Very cool. I liked a lot of these. I liked a lot of the panel and the action here. Again, kind of a different angle than what happens in Blood Honey. We're kind of seeing it from Salamandroid's perspective here. Very cool. Again, I felt like there should have been another page or two before this, because we go from the guy getting his head bitten off to now we're going into another action scene with Salamandroid. I felt like that there should have been kind of a pregnant pause in between there. Maybe his perspective when they were going to go after. They're going after. This is where it gets kind of confusing. So they were originally going to go after, I would assume, cybernetic bees. That were enemies in the original 90s CyberFrog. So it gets confusing when alien bees come down and break up the fight between the cybernetic bees and CyberFrog. So it got a little confusing there, but that's okay. That's all right. Really, it needed those extra 2 pages, I think, just to kind of explain that and then jump into this. But, hey, fine. He jumped straight into it. Media res. Okay, sure. Let's go with it. The only downside that Bear has, and Ethan does a great job. We can all see his amazing detail and everything. On some of these, it got Bear a little confused as far as not only scale. Like, Salamandroid is supposed to be really huge. But also so many details stacked one on top of the other there, it gets a little confusing. So you can tell that he has a tail here, and there's his arms. I don't know. Yeah, there's a leg there. I don't think you can see the other leg, maybe. But you got a lot of the bees around him. So the only really good one shot that you have of Kelsey, if you're just coming into this brand new, this is the only sort of main shot that you have, and you don't really get very much. He did a great job of perspective with some of the space scenes there, but just right here, like you'd figure the bees were a lot smaller. So maybe that's just a bear thing here, but anyways, he's getting stung and attacked by the alien Vespas here. Oops, did I skip a page? I might have skipped a page here. 1 second. Get back. Tough with the claws, people. Tough doing this with the claws. Come on, man. There we go. This is another one where Bear got a little... I like it. I really like... This is a cool scene here, but, you know, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, there is his leg. I'm not sure if this is another leg. I think this is his arm, because he's got this little kind of glowing thing there. And let's see. There's his tail. I'm assuming his other arm is over this way, and maybe... I don't know where his other leg is there. So this, even though it looks really cool and really awesome, a lot of the details kind of stacked on top of each other. It got Bear just a little bit... I had to look at this a little bit longer. I had to kind of study it just a little bit, because you got the explosion going on there, sending out stuff there. He's over here, but CyberFrog is actually up here, so that got a little bit confusing. I thought that was pretty cool. CyberFrog on fire. Ah! He's got his mouth open. Ah, I'm on fire. Ah! Thought that was kind of funny. And then he watches him kind of fall off into the river. So if you're familiar with the first book there, CyberFrog has the explosion. The cybernetic bees, apologies people, I can't remember the name. The cybernetic bees, they were transporting explosives in the first book. CyberFrog comes to save the day. Something goes wrong. I think there's like a car wreck or something like that. Everything explodes. He goes soaring into, I forget which river it is, but he goes soaring into the river, and then he is kind of in hibernation for the next, what would that be? 25 years or whatever it is there. So that's kind of the story of what's going on there. So I don't recall if we ever saw this part where Salamandroid's going, die, everyone die in the explosion. And I'm assuming some sort of Godzilla-like breath there that he's kind of blasting everybody with. Once again, I mean, you see his face there. You can see what he's doing, but it gets a little bit muddled there. I do enjoy it. I like the contrast in colors here. This is just great. Going from this sort of orange-red to the sort of purplish, bluish, almost even black even. There he goes. Very dynamic. I love the dynamic look of all of this. It looks pretty cool. And over here as well. You kind of continue from this page over into the dynamism over here. Very cool. I like all that. That's very cool. Good job, Critter. Good job, Kyle Rader out there doing some great work. Doing great work. Anyways, keeps going on here. This is Scorpion. So we saw him at the very beginning here. Again, if you're not familiar with the 90s CyberFrog, his kind of appearance is like, okay, didn't you just bite off somebody's head? And then all of a sudden, he's saying, hey, we got a bigger enemy. Him and Salamandroid. We shouldn't fight each other. We've got a bigger enemy with these bees. Join with me. Come with me, really. Come with me. Get out of here. Don't be crying. Don't be crying out there. Come with me, and I'll help save you. Really cool. I liked all of this. I felt like some of his body got cut off by these panels here, but this is a great 2-page here. And of course, you got the color contrast as well. So you got all your purples over here and all your all your sort of reds and oranges over here. Great color contrast. Great color contrast. And almost like every single page that you turn, it's almost like going from one color palette to another, kind of merging. Very cool. Very. I don't know if they designed that from the outset or not, but very cool. One of the other things that bears noticing is a lot of the stuff, it doesn't feel like it's raised up or anything like that, but it's got almost kind of a 3D sort of look to that. Also with his knee there. It might just be very good drawing on there, but interesting with the depth in there. And that's kind of one of the things that Bear's saying with the colors. Really, really just popping off of the page. I'm not sure what type of paper stock this is, but whatever they used, CyberFrog Blood Honey had an issue where some of the pages were a little thin for the amount of just crazy amount of ink and colors that they were putting in there, that it developed what was called fluting. So you had it would kind of bunch up together and you get like little ripples in the page. Whatever they did, they fixed it in this book. Looks terrific here. Looks terrific. So anyways, he's saying, come with me, Salamandroid. I know we were enemies in the past, but we will team up together. Team up together. So they go off. Oops, let me break the page here. Very cool. Very cool. Now here's some of Bear's kind of complaints here. Just minor. I mean, look, if Bear's going to give the artwork in this book out of 10, I would say probably a 9.8 out of 10. 9.8 out of 10. The only thing that would kind of take it away from Bear is just some of these minor things here. So here is his arm. Claw? What do scorpions have? We'll go with claw. We'll go with claw here. He's got his little claw here, which is coming at, see, this is all one sort of panel, and then you have another panel here. So you can see you've got the sort of base of, I'm assuming, a bridge here. This is what it looks like, the bridge, because there's the river down here, so I'm assuming this is a bridge. So this would be the upper deck, or I suppose the lower deck, viewed from underneath, the lower deck of the bridge. But you had his arm kind of come out in between there. So you had very dark background back here with his arm. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. And of course you got the word bubbles as well, kind of going into this panel. You know, if all this stuff was over here, not a problem. I don't have a problem with it, but it seemed like this was all together, right? But it's actually part of this panel over here. Same thing with this guy over here. You've got Salamandroid here, and he's bent around. And I can understand what he's doing, because in this panel up here, he was, well, actually in this one, he's below. But that's all right. That's all right. He's above CyberFrog in this page here. That's fine, but it really kind of stands out. And again, I don't know if there's some sort of 3D effect to this, like it was plastered on there or something, but it seemed to be raised or something like that. But it's sort of distracted from Salamandroid here, because you see his arm and you see his head, but you don't really see much of his body. I'm not sure if I would have him here. I'd maybe have him down here. Maybe that might work a little bit better. And they would be kind of facing each other. I think that would be a little bit, eye lines, eyesight, because his eyesight's kind of coming down here. His eyesight's going down there. So if you had him down here, their eyesight would at least be a little bit closer. A little bit closer there. So I thought that was pretty cool. And let me find it here. Where was it? Because I did have a minor critique. Here. I might have to come back to it. Gosh, where was it? 1 second, people. I apologize. Here it is. I don't know if we can see. Can we see this on the camera? Let me bring it a little bit closer. I want to show this word bubble. I don't know how this got past. The checking this out here. Gosh darn it. Can you not see it? Okay, I'm going to put it on the other camera here. Yeah, we can see that a little bit better. 1 second here. Let me get to it. The other camera just doesn't show. Can't quite do the focusing there. So he has here. They're talking back and forth, yada yada yada, all this other stuff. I don't know how this got past. I don't know how this got past anybody. He says, let's see. Can we see? Oops. Where are we? Focus. Focus. Okay, there we go. So the second panel here, he's talking about, I liberated myself moments after birth by cannibalizing by brother. By brother? No, it should be my brother. So there you go. Minor issue there. I'm sure they'll fix it on version 2 whenever they get to it. The reprint out there. But I thought that was funny. I was like, aha, I found a screw up in the page. So I don't know if that is a well-known misprint out there or not, but I thought that was funny. I thought that was, aha, I've got you, Ethan. It's not perfect after all. Ha ha ha. No, it's fine. He did a great job in there. It just kind of a minor. Probably you had the buy up there and then the buy down below it, and it just kind of skipped past. It should be my brother, unless he has a bisexual brother. That might be a kind of an interesting thing for the next book there. Anyways, there we go. There is that. So again, just very minor complaints as far as like I'm really almost nitpicking at this point. Really, I mean, other than the misprint there with the by brother. I mean, most of this stuff, it looks great. It looks great. Again, his arm I just thought was a little bit out of place with the bridge down there. So there's that. Here is all of their. I love the coloring in here. I love the color. Let me show that a little bit better if I can. Love that coloring. I mean, you're almost getting an entire color palette in there. I mean, let's see. You got reds, yellows, greens, blues. I mean, pretty much all of the primary colors in there. Very cool. Anyways, he has all of the... Rumblebee. That was the name of the... So they had other bees. Cybernetic bees? Not really sure. It was a little confusing for Bear. So I like the little rogues gallery here. Rumblebee, Amkinson, Earwig, Shockroach, and Dementipede. Dementipede. What a great name there. Very cool. So you got sort of your rogues gallery here. They're saying basically, welcome. We all had to hide out in this hidey hole. We're not gonna save the human race. We're not gonna save Earth. It's goner. No sense doing any of that. So come stay with us, Salamandroid. And I thought this was I thought it showed the rogues gallery. We fought against each other, but now we have a bigger enemy out there. Won't you join us, Salamandroid? And I was like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it, Salamandroid. Don't do it. And then, of course, you go to the very next page here. If Bear can get to it. Come on, Bear. Do the thing with the thing. Professional show. There we go. It essentially cuts. It cuts. And then it goes later. Schuylkill River in Philadelphia. I hope I pronounced that. Chuy Kill. Schuylkill. I hope I pronounced that right. Sounds very Indian, so I could have that wrong. It literally cuts from "Won't you join us, Salamandroid?" To later on. I really wish that there was a battle. If we got rid of the first 7 pages, put it in the Wreck Planet book, and had Salamandroid battle those people out, I thought that would have been a lot better choice. Instead, we have no idea what they decided on. Again, it might be in the Salamandroid color design here. I could be wrong. Could be wrong there, but it jumps ahead. I really wish that we got to see kind of the conclusion to that rather than just cutting away. I can understand the story reason why you would do that. I'm totally fine with that.
I felt like it needed a little bit more explanation in there. That's all. That's it. Plus, you left it on a cliffhanger. So, like, what did he do? You know, obviously he wasn't with them. But it would be interesting to see what his sort of thought process is. Anyways, go to the river. He finds CyberFrog, who we last saw. He was on fire. He fell into the river, and he starts to kind of develop these sort of, I don't know what they would call them, sort of frog eggs, I suppose, around CyberFrog there. Essentially, he was in a coma for whatever it was, 25, 27 years or something. So Salamandroid decides to, okay, I found my brother. I'm going to go down and I'm going to go into a coma just like him, sleep for all that time, and then be awakened once CyberFrog awakens. Which is kind of odd because in the book, you were kind of led to believe that Salamandroid was out there fighting the Vespas all along. He was out there on his own trying to fight them off. May have came across with the Rogues Gallery out there and, found mutual benefits fighting the bees there. But then, maybe the Vespas did something and it went the other way. You were led to believe that. Instead, it was just like, oh, okay, I did the exact same thing. I fell right next to you. He didn't see him when CyberFrog came out, and then so they're separated for the rest of, or most of Wrecked Planet. Which is, it's interesting, but again, it wasn't what Bear was kind of expecting or being led to believe. So anyways, we are here in 2018, kind of a alternate history. Wakes up 2018, finds that CyberFrog is still alive, and he needs to go find him. So there he goes. Out. CyberFrog is back. And continued in Wrecked Planet, which we've already read. So again, I thought this was kind of odd that this was, at least for Bear, after the fact, after he read CyberFrog. So I do need to go back, double check and make sure that this came out with either maybe after one or after one before two, or if it came out with number two there. Bear got it on the second campaign. So again, reading through this, it's like CyberFrog's back. Check him out in CyberFrog 2. I'm like, I already read the dang book. This is a good book. Best book in CG. And of course, he's got the patented Ethan shiny curved object that's reflecting whatever's going on there in the background. So very cool. You can see his hand. There. Pretty cool. You can see all the Vespa beehive up there. Pretty cool perspective there. Kind of a sort of classic CyberFrog thing. He's got the same sort of puffy shoulders, I guess. Maybe he's a linebacker. You never know. The other thing I thought was really cool was some of the explanations. So you got CyberFrog, Salamandroid. You got a couple of the other rogue characters here as well. Lily here, Rumblebee. Again, I thought that a lot of this probably would have been better off in the second book there, because a couple of times you had to kind of go back and double check. Like Shockroach, I believe, was in the second book. There was another one as well that CyberFrog was fighting. I forget his name. Oh, this guy, Spite. Here we go. He's a hyper cat. 5'8", 350 pounds. Wow, he is a heavy cat. And of course, Dystopia. We saw her as well in the second book. Would have been helpful. It says Harris Comics CyberFrog number 4 was her first appearance. But if you're not a avid reader of CyberFrog in the 90s, you wouldn't know this character. So you're trying to figure out, okay, why is she trying to do bad things with Lily? Lily, right? What's her name? Double checking here. Gotta double check. Yeah, Lily. In the second book there. And then you find out, oh, okay, here's all, let's see. High school friend of Heather Swain, secretly skilled in witchcraft, who has the ability to create sadness, depression, and paranoia into those who speak to her. So Lily was speaking to her, and you could get that from the second book. even without reading that, you could have gotten it from the second book. But man, that would have been helpful to have before you read the second book. So, anyways, there is that. There is CyberFrog. Excuse me, Salamandroid. The death sting, people. The death sting. And in fact, with it, Bear actually got if we can get to it here. I actually got a folder here as well. So pretty cool. Pretty cool packaging out there. Enjoyed it. Came in really quickly. He did a really good job with that. So thank you, Uncle Lee. Very much. Bear, where am I? There we are. Bear approved. Artwork probably would be a, once again, like a 9.8 out of 10. Just had a couple minor issues with it. It wasn't anything major. It's nothing that's like, oh my God, it's terrible or anything like that. I thought it was great. Kyle Ritter just did an excellent job, as always, with the colors. I just thought he really knocked it out of the park with this book. Really, really cool. Really enjoyed just going page to page and it just kind of flowing like a color palette out there. Very cool. Very cool. Story, again, it was a little short. I enjoyed getting a little bit of the background of Salamandroid. You get a little bit of his personality in there. You don't, not very much. I guess, I suppose his sort of traits are like he's kind of a very loyal. I think he's been described as kind of like a loyal dog, So he's very loyal, but might not be. He's not teaching physics classes in the university or anything like that. So very kind of, I don't want to say simple-minded or anything, but compared to CyberFrog kind of has a little bit more of kind of a Jersey personality. Salamandroid kind of has more of a loving, loyal, kind of goofy feel to him. You didn't get a whole lot in that book with there. Again, you had that first couple 6-7 pages there that probably should have went in CyberFrog number 2. Thought it would have been a little bit better, and you would have added a couple of extra pages there where you could kind of expand a little bit more. Kind of, okay, what was Salamandroid doing in between that period? Again, I can see why they decided to do kind of, okay, I'm going to go into a coma with CyberFrog. We're going to hide out for 20 odd years and then kind of come back to fight. Okay, I can understand that, but really wish that the Rogues Gallery and Salamandroid would have had a little bit more of kind of a battle, or maybe not even a battle, maybe kind of a philosophical, Salamandroid, no, I want to, we were sent here to save humanity. We need to save them. And the Rogues Gallery, no, we need to hide out. And, the world is already dead, so let's just take the best that we can. Humanity's gone. Why fight for them when we can, essentially be the kings of the prison, essentially. So, what's the Pink Floyd one? Walk on part in the war, or a lead role in the cage, that sort of deal. It would have been an interesting philosophical discussion there. You might not even come to fisticuffs. Although in a Salamandroid book, yeah, you'd probably want to have some sort of fisticuffs going on there. Story, listen, it's not a complete arc of a book because it's supposed to be a supplemental. I don't want to call it an ash can like this guy here. It's not quite an ash can book, but it's not quite a full comic book. So it's kind of somewhere kind of in between there. I'm not exactly sure how to describe that, but basically story-wise, it has a nice arc to it. It explains what happens, but it's very quick. It's not glossed over, but it goes through it very quickly. I wish that it might have stretched out just a little bit longer. Maybe just add another page or two in there. Story-wise, let's just go ahead and give it a 8.5 out of 10. 8.5. I thought it was really, really, really good. It wasn't that long. Think of like a short story versus a novel. You can get a little bit more kind of character, a little bit more kind of background, a little bit more feeling of the world in a novel, whereas a short story is just, you got to get in, get to it, and get out real quick, and that's kind of where that felt. I don't want to take anything away from it, but yeah, there was just a couple issues there where Bear just kind of had to say, hold on, one second, who was that character again? What was that character's name again? Let me flip it back and everything. So yeah, let's just say 8.7. Let's just say 8.7 out of 10. I liked it. And coloring, 12 out of 10. Don't normally do coloring, but in this case, excellent job from the critter out there. So there we are, people. There is Bear's review. Bear's review of Salamandroid. I still need to check out the color design. That might help out a little bit better. But that's what we were trying to do yesterday. Couldn't quite make it because of audio problems and other issues out there. I don't know if it was Bear or if it was YouTube. One of the others out there. So I'm not sure. Not sure. But you know what? Bear has completely stunned his audience with his brilliance. All right. Well, I was expecting a couple questions, but it looks like the Bears win it outright. Just curb stomped Taylor Swift out there. So there you go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for voting in the poll. We're going to go ahead and close it here. Go ahead and close the poll up here. So there you go. The Bears win. The Bears. The Bears. The Bears. All right, people. Let's see. Bear had a couple other things here, but mainly just wanted to get to the review of CyberFrog here. I guess everybody is out watching the Taylor Swift male dancers out there in their concert. So I guess that, and Bear doesn't normally do Sunday shows, so maybe a lot of people are confused. Like, what the heck, Bear on a Sunday, the Lord's Day? How dare you, Bear? How dare you? Well, that's all right, people. That's all right. So once again, want to thank pretty much our one and only commenter out here. That'd be Sam. Thank you for stopping by, Sam. P Money. I hope work is well for you. Working on a Sunday out there. So once again, very much enjoyed Salamandroid. Good book. Would recommend it. Just a couple minor issues that were really, really, really just nitpicking out there. Gosh, I'm gonna make an amend to that. We'll just go ahead and put it as a 9. A 9 out of 10 as far as the story, and a 9.7, 9.8 as far as the artwork there. Really enjoyed both. Just felt that it was a little short, and it could have used a little bit more, maybe another page or two just to explain stuff. So other than that, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for you good folks out here. I know you want to get back, watch the male Taylor Swift male dancers out there enjoying. Miguel stirring the pot here. Let's see. Bear, how is winning the CG versus Friday Night Tights plus Ripa War? I don't know. Hadn't been paying attention to it. Apparently they're crowdfunding for a NASCAR car, or a NASCAR, what do you call that? The painting on the car, livery. Other than that, I have no idea, Miguel. Bear has stepped away and let you people fling your poo. I'm just going to get the heck out of the way, man. I'm just going to get the heck out of the way of all that. Once again, Bear's comment on that is everybody's losing in this. Nobody's winning. Please, just settle your differences. If you can't settle them, that's fine. Bear had kind of a theory kind of a theory out there. I don't know if I should articulate it here or not, but I may do that on the next show, Miguel. I want to kind of turn the wrenches on some of that, but listen, Bear never really was I've seen one, maybe two videos of Ripa. One of them was when he was, I think it was either shadow banned or banned from Twitter. It may have been from, I don't think it was YouTube. It may have been from Twitter. He had a post. I was like, hey, we're here with you, Ripa, right on, all that sort of stuff. There might have been another one very early on when, everybody was, Bear's not following Ripa. So it's like, oh, hey, here's the, on one of the Comicsgate streams. Oh, hey, here's this guy Ripa. Check him out. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Blah, 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 blah. I really don't have an opinion one way or other on the guy. If people want to say he's a grifter, and try to get people that are kind of conning people out, and looking up for the customers, I'm all for that. Just going after the guy just to go after the guy, I don't see the point of it. If you don't like his book, you don't like his book. But, hey, he's got a really great infrastructure behind it where he can get all that stuff out. And he's hiring some great artists and some great writers out there. So, yeah, you never know. Never know. Friday Night Tights, gosh, never really watched the Friday Night Tights because it was something else before that. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. This was a couple years ago. I remember Doomcock was on there. A couple of other people that have kind of, I guess, separated themselves out from was it Friday Night Tights? Bear stepped away for the longest time and then noticed that they were bringing on, the very controversial radio show host. Good old AJ out there. I says, wait a minute. Your whole spiel was no politics. Now all of a sudden you're talking nothing but politics. So, that sort of stuff. I don't follow them along. Bear had a video about that 2 years ago and says, okay, I'm done with these folks. I don't know what the deal was with them and Uncle Lee. I have no idea. Probably just bad blood. It seems like there is kind of a YouTube kind of coefficient in there where, you got your comic artist on one side and your YouTubers on the other side. And I think that's kind of where Bear was going with this kind of theory out there. Let's see. NASCAR is nice propaganda, he says. I think it's like a CyberFrog. How do you pronounce that? Livery. That's fine. I mean, again, what that has to do with Comicsgate, I'm not really sure. I don't know if people in NASCAR are just all of a sudden going to go to, you have CyberFrog there, but you don't tell people where to go get it unless you have like an Indiegogo logo on there. I don't know how many people in NASCAR are going to go check out comic books, especially independent comic books that you put your money down for now and have to wait, a little bit of time before you get them. Nothing against Camel Moon. Appreciate the guy. Good for you. Kind of a underdog story. Kind of car owner that finally gets into the big NASCAR races. Good for him. That's a lot of money. So, he's trying to raise some money. No problem with that whatsoever. But what that has to do with Comicsgate, I don't know. I get a little annoyed sometimes when, some of the Comicsgaters out there kind of treat their audience as an ATM machine. That's kind of what it felt like here, but I could be wrong. I saw, again, I was trying to do Bear's show yesterday, so I only saw maybe a minute or two of it, but it looked like they got their funding for it, so congratulations. Uncle E needs a store table outside the Autodrome in the parking lot and sell some comics and toys. If you can get them out of the house, sure. I think that's part of the problem there. But No, I mean it's yeah, sure. I mean if he wants to go sell, what was it? Talladega, I think was one. I forget what the other one. I don't think it was Daytona. But yeah, hey, if he wants to do that, yeah, great. If that helps bring more people into Comicsgate, great, terrific, awesome. I'm just not sure if that's the case. I don't mind promoting and giving a shout out to Camel Moon out there, and hopefully he does his best. I just don't see that connection there. Just don't see it. But Bear could be wrong. Could be wrong, Miguel. Could be wrong. Well, good to have Miguel here. I was about to wrap it up, and we got into a discussion of Comicsgate and all the craziness that's going on there. So there is that. I will try. We will claws crossed here. We're going to try and do a show on Wednesday, but it's also Ash Wednesday. So there might be people out doing the church services out there. So we will play it by ear. Bear will kind of let everybody know if he happens to not do a show or anything like that. But a little tentative right now. But definitely we'll be back. Definitely next Saturday. Not Sunday, people. Saturdays. We do this Wednesdays and Saturdays for you good people out here. All right. Once again, want to thank the great Miguel out there. Long time follower. Sam as well, if he's still out there. P-Money doing the work that other Canadians just won't do on a Sunday. So thank you. Thank you so much. Bear would say go check out the archive channel, but I've only got 2 more strikes left before that channel's taken down. So we'll see. We'll see out there. Hopefully be able to upload this. We'll see. Once again, everyone, thank you so much. I know you have all sorts of entertainment options out there, including some sort of bowl of supers. Hadn't really followed along, but want to thank each and every one of you out there. But you know what? People, all these talking about Salamandroids has made Bear hungry. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr, a grrr. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everyone.